Hello, in this video I'm going to be going through my Advent of Code 2023 Day 6 solution. So in this problem, we're given this time and distance input, and it's a race that we're part of. So we can see the first race takes 7 milliseconds, the second race lasts 15, and the third race lasts 30. And the first race has distance of 9 millimeters, then 40, then 200. But the actual units aren't important here. It's just periods of distance and time. So we need to work out the optimal time that we hold a button down. So if we hold a button down, it charges the boat and makes it go 1 millimeter faster for every millisecond we hold it down. So for example, in the first scenario, if we don't hold it down at all, our boat won't move because it has 0 speed. If we hold it down for 1 millisecond, it will move at a speed of 1 millimeter per millisecond for 6 milliseconds that are remaining. And we can keep doing that. If we hold it for 2, then we're going to be moving at 2 milliseconds per second, but we still have 5 milliseconds to move, so we get 10, which does actually beat the previous distance. So that would be something that we're counting. The same goes for 3, 4, and 5. But 6 is less because it's going to be 6 millimeters because it's only 1 second remaining. So we need to calculate the margin of error, and that is by determining the number of ways that we can beat the record in each race. And if we multiply the values together, for the test input we should get 288 or 288. So I'm going to copy this test input and put it into Visual Studio Code. Day 6. And what we're going to do is we're just going to get the lines equal input dot split \n. And then we can see time and distance. So we're just going to say let time equals an empty array, let distance be the same. And then we're going to use regex. So we can say let match equal, or we don't need to set it to anything because we're going to set it later. But we can say let pattern equal \d plus /g. There we go. And then while match equals pattern dot execute match there. Line 0, and that needs to be not equal to null. Then we're going to do times dot push or time. Oh, there we go. That should be times. That should be distances. Dot push match 0, and we're going to parse this as an integer as well. There we go. And we can copy this, and here we can say distances, where lines 1 is the input. So now we have an array of integers, or 2 arrays of integers with the times and the distances. So now all we need to do is iterate through them. So we can say for let I equal 0, I is less than times dot length, I plus plus. Then we can say let ways to win for this specific time or race. For let button length, or how long we're holding the button down for, be 0 initially, although we know that that isn't going to be the answer, but then we can do button length is less than times I dot length, and then button length plus plus. Oh no, sorry, not times I dot length, just times I, because it needs to be less than the time overall. Then we can say if times I minus button length times by button length, which means the speed times how long we have, or the time that we have left times the speed. If that's greater than distance is I, the previously held record for the distance, ways to win plus plus. Finally, we can just say total times equals ways to win. And we just need to say let total equal 1 here. And finally, we can just return total. If we run this, let's see what happens. We get 288, which is the result that we expected. So we can come back in here. We can get the puzzle input. And then we're just going to paste it in. And run. And we get 1, 7, and 4 zeros. And if we look back here, our answer was the same thing. Now, for this one, basically we need to ignore white spaces between numbers on each line. So here where we had 7, 15, 30, it'll be 7, 1, 5, 3, 0 for the time. So how many ways can we beat the record in this longer race? There is an argument to be made that we might need to do optimization, but we really don't for this problem because the numbers are actually quite small. So all we actually need to do is I'm going to change this from parseInt to just string. So we have the times, and then we just say let time equal times dot join here, and then we're just going to parseInt that. And then let distances equal parseInt time distances dot join, or distance, sorry. There we go. And now we can remove this loop. And we just need to, we can remove this as well. We can just return ways to win. And instead of having times I, we're just going to have time. And instead of distances I, we're just going to have distance. If we run this, we get this number 20537782, which is the same as this puzzle answer. So that's how I did Advent of Code 2023 Day 6.